2019, Ghana made over $3 million from coconut oil exports alone. In 2017, Ghana was adjudged one of the net exporters of coconut globally. What does this mean for economic development? What does it mean for youth employment? What does it mean for entrepreneurs who are exploring alternative approaches to business development within the agricultural sector? On today's episode, we'll be interacting with a young entrepreneur who had created a unique brand in the coconut production value chain. He started from mere sales of coconut water to now what is becoming a coconut empire, diversifying into many coconut-related products such as oil, coconut flour, coconut munchies, among so many others. His name is Elorm Awadzi, owner of the Kubehene brand. Join us on today's Agromedia. My name is Fidel Tete. You can also call me the Agrarian. Good to be with you.
Yeah,
It's been ages. I think our connections have been on Facebook.
yes.
Where are we currently?
So currently we are at Aklasi Damai.
Actually, I sit down.
Damai, yes. It's a twin town. So Damai is one, Aklasi is one. So the name
The
of
Eastern region.
Eastern region. Yes.
Right.
The name of the locality is Aklasi.
Great. It's a good feeling. It's
Yeah.
all natural, it's all green.
Exactly.
Even the air you are breathing in, you can feel the quality. It's cool. Unlike some places. Hello viewers. Currently I'm here with Elorm Awadzi, the brand owner of Kubehene.
Okay.
It's really interesting what you started doing. I mean, a young, vibrant man, with qualification in IT, you've decided that you will not just focus on IT, that you're going to focus on coconut as a business. Tell us how it all started.
The brand name is Kubehene. And as the name signifies, Kube is the local dialect, which means coconut. And Hene is a king. So the model or the signification of our business is that we are the king of coconut.
Yes.
So Kubehene basically manufactures organic coconut products with emphasis on organic. Our main focus is to make sure that we are able to provide longevity to our products.
I see.
So health and wellness, longevity, that's our hallmark.
But as a business, what potential did you see?
So Kubehene is very personal to me because it was birthed out of a personal situation. I used to be a fan of music.
Oh, okay.
So
That makes two of us.
exactly. So you always see me with either a bottle of soda, any soda beverage, which is loaded with sugar, like we all know.
Coca-Cola.
Exactly. For any meal. So any meal I take, I needed to get down some soda. And along the line, as I grew further, I realized that it was becoming almost detrimental to my health. And I have a lot of doctor friends who advise that no, I need to try and switch up from these soda and fizzy drinks and consider a more healthy alternative. And at the time, I'm someone who already likes coconut water, but I'll always go for the fizzy drinks about coconut water. So as a process of changing my lifestyle and my eating habits, I now switch to coconut water as an alternative for fizzy drinks. So since I started consuming coconut water, I realized the health benefits and the potential was immense because I started shedding off excess fats.
Okay.
I became more energetic because of the electrolytes that I'm doing.
Fresher, like you are looking
Exactly. So I realized that no, I found something that is almost like a gem, and I need to be able to get this out there for others who are also in a similar situation to also rather switch to a healthy alternative. So that's how Kubehene was there.
So for you, the focus is primarily to promote good health.
Exactly.
But then in the process, you make some cash out of it.
That's it.
Tell us how it started in terms of your first product.
The first product that we launched was Kubehene Classic.
Okay.
And Kubehene Classic is the raw coconut pod.
With the umbrellas on top of it.
Exactly, you know it.
Oh, of course, with some stickers.
Yes, that's right.
Beauty.
That's right. So I asked myself, everybody's drinking coconuts. We have the coconut guys on the streets. There are a lot of people who want to always have coconut on the go. But how do we repackage coconut to make it look more attractive, one, to make it more hygienic, and then to make it more handy, so that anybody could just pick one coconut and then go to work, open it easily, and then enjoy the content. So that was how Kubehene Classic came in. So the first doll I got was from a cousin.
Okay.
She was was having an engagement and he said, okay, I see you trying to do something with this coconut stuff. Why don't you come and set up for this engagement? So that was my first ever appearance to the public. So we did a nice setup.
With your guys?
Yes, with my guys.
Nice looking guys.
Yeah, we had our branded shirts on with our cutlasses and our hats and all that. So that was the first setup that we did. And Kubehene started as an events brand. So from there, the recommendations started coming in, referrals here and there. And it almost became a household thing that if there's any events, Kubehene was supposed to be there.
I look at the Kubehene Classic, the raw coconut. You even went as far as developing stickers to just transform the way it looked. How was this thing received?
I remember the first time I stepped into the photography studio to go and shoot Kubehene Classic. So I had 3 coconut pots in my strap bag.
Okay.
And I walked into the photo studio in Osu. So when I got there, the photographer said, okay, what are we going to shoot? I'm coming to see my product. Now when I brought out the product, I said, wow, you be a sticker. And he quickly called his other colleagues, hey Charlie, make you can't see, make you can't see. Wow. See what these guys are doing with coconut. Coconut has a sticker on it. It's all skin to the core. It has a brand name. So it was well received because it was something that had not been seen.
So Kubehene Classics, where are we now?
Kubehene Classic. Now we have a variety of other products. So we have Kubehene Classic, which is still our authentic baby. So the tradition must be preserved. So Kubehene Classic is still there. Now from Kubehene Classic, we transition to Kubehene Cool and Kubehene Crunchy. So we have Cool, which is the organic coconut water, and Crunchy is the coconut water with some pulp.
Oh,
so for those who want to enjoy, so some will say, oh, I don't want the coconut water, I want to be able to enjoy the coconut food. Sure. You have Kubehene Crunchy. They have the coconut pulp in it, and then we have the Kubi that has the water. Now from the bottled coconut water, we move to Kubehene Fruity. So the fruity is the coconut water, but we have some droplets of other fruits in it. So you can have so we have coconut water infused with watermelon, we have some infused with apple, some infused with pineapple, and that's one of our classic products. And we also look at healthy snacking. So we wanted to get an alternative for most of the unhealthy snacks that are out there. So we came up with Kubehene Munchies, and that is raw coconut chips. So that is what we make from the hard coconut copra in the shell. So we have Kubehene Munchies, and from Kubehene Munchies, we have another variety, which is Kubehene Mixed Nuts. Okay. So that is the raw coconut chips, and then we infuse it with almonds and then cashew.
Flavor and minerals.
Exactly. So it's a healthy, beautiful beverage for snacking, for breakfast, or any snack on the go.
Wow. Do you mind sharing with us? I mean, how it began? How many bottles you have supplied?
So there's one thing that I learned from my mentor, that if you run a business and you're in a production line, there's something called a CIPOC. And through the CIPOC process, from the supplier to the customer, there are various stages that it goes through. Now the mistake that we mostly make is we start from the supplier end, and then we come all the way with finished products, mass products, and we expect the consumers to purchase. But it should be the reverse. You're supposed to identify your customers,
exactly,
the purchasing power, the number of customers who are ready to purchase those products, and then that advises the number of inventory that you need to have. So we have adopted that strategy. So for us, we started very small. We started doing 50 bottles a week. We scaled up to 100 bottles a week, and now we are doing 400 bottles a week.
Wow.
And we have the vision to be able to scale it up to 2,000 bottles a month. Wow. Yes.
Let's talk about the other products. The munchies. Then you have
the mixed nuts.
The mixed nuts. How are these products doing?
For each and every one of these products that we've launched, sometimes I become amazed because as soon as we launch the product, it is received so well and it starts to pick up to start competing with the other products. And sometimes you realize that you ask yourself, the way this product is doing well, should I leave it and focus only on these ones? Or should I leave the other products and focus on these ones? But what I've realized is each and every one of our products has their target audience. So there are products for every customer. So you'll be cutting yourself short if you decide to focus on just one product. Just let all of them sit on the table like a buffet, and the customers themselves will pick what they want. And as you realize that all of them start to go alongside, they start to compete alongside each other. And it's a win-win for you, the entrepreneur.
Coconut oil. Among the things you mentioned, the munchies, the cool, the classic, what did you see in that value chain that made you say, okay, now let's add coconut oil?
Out of our value chain and our products, we want to be able to produce every single thing that we can acquire out of coconuts. Not just the raw coconut pod with the water, but we are focusing on the coconut meat, the copra, the tree itself as a whole, the branches of the coconut, the stem, every single component in the coconut that is of use and value to humankind. We are going to bring products out of that. So this is just like the doorway to other products that are going to come. And coconut oil is a very interesting product because it's one of the healthiest considered oil options for cooking and for other things. Virgin coconut oil, which is what we are producing. But what we're currently producing is the hot press, but we're having the cold press also coming as well. So the cold press has other uses for skincare, for hair, for food. People use it for other snacks.
Since the launch of the Kubehene coconut oil, what unique feedback did you get from people? I think
the coconut oil has been, I think, the fastest seller. I'm not going to say the best seller because I haven't tried it over a period of time, but I know it's going to be. For the reception, the adaptation, the association has been great. Just in the past week, all the bottles that we produced just to sort of launch the products are even gone before I could even have any for myself. So, so it looks like we are working towards expanding the production line for coconut oil to make sure that we are able to get more products out there. But so far, the reception has been great, and I think the community is really accepting it very well. Yeah.
Since you started, what would you say has been your biggest loss?
Yeah, I think my biggest loss since I launched Kubehene will be something that happened as a result of non-extensive research into how to preserve my products. So when I started Kubehene Basket and I transitioned to Kubehene Cool and Crunchy, I did a research on how to preserve the coconut water in the bottle. So what happened was with my first ever production, I hadn't extensively researched into the degrees Fahrenheit or the temperature that it had to be to make sure that it's not going to go bad. So I just produced quickly, put them in the fridge, and the lights went off.
Oh,
Instead of the freezer. So I put them in the fridge, the lights went off. And by the time the lights could come back, all the bottles I produced had gone bad. That was almost 200 bottles. That was my first biggest loss. It really hits me, but I took it as a learning curve to be able to better my preservation methods and ensure that that doesn't recur. So now I've gotten a better grasp, a better understanding over the years on how to preserve our products, how to make sure that they can have a lengthier shelf life and they can be well preserved before it reaches the market.
okay. What does branding mean to you?
Now, one mistake that most entrepreneurs make, most young entrepreneurs make, myself inclusive, when I was starting, we are mostly driven by passion, like you rightly said. So we are excited that we have a new product out there, or I was able to bring out this innovative idea. This is my finished product, and we decide to go all out to make it look appealing, make it look nice, make it look beautiful. Forgetting about the market price. How much is someone willing to buy this product for, and what price is reasonable? And someone willing to pay 20 Ghana cedis for one coconut, which is engraved. And at the end of the day, he's just going to sip out the content. He's not going to separate his room with the engraved coconut core. He's going to throw it away. So there always has to be that even balance between what you are investing in the business and what the market price is willing to pay. That will help you to be able to decide on your cost price, your selling price, and then you can realize actual profits that can go back into the business.
Many people think of being jack of all trades. What is your take on that? Is it creating, because there is a whole lot of ceremonies out there, how you can create multiple streams of income, and in an attempt to create multiple streams of income, and the question is, how do people still maintain the focus on the brand that they want to do? What is your take?
There is nothing wrong being a jack of all trades. The problem is people become jack of all trades too early, at a very infant stage of their business. So I look at a business as building a house. Now, assuming I wanted to build a house, there's a clear process to run through. I need to go through the foundational stages, start laying the blocks, get to lentil level, do the roofing. Now, if you are building a business and the business is the house, and I get to the foundation level, I leave it and I start another foundation, which is also another business. And I leave that and I start another foundation. When are we going to get a complete house that becomes useful and profitable?
How did you do your audience analysis or your consumer analysis to know which people I'm really focusing on? Because you definitely cannot reach everybody.
For us as Kubehene, we don't want to be tagged as the business that only focuses on the upper class in society. Middle class, who is a government worker, to be able to buy Kubehene products. The president to be able to buy Kubehene products. Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, all those ranges to be able to afford our products. So, depending on your business model, you can either decide to be a Bugatti or a Toyota.
So in terms of standardization, what have been some of the steps you've taken?
Now, when I started initially with Kubehene Cool and Crunchy, because of the preservation method, we were running it more as an on-demand product. So maybe once we do the preservation, we do the production, we preserve it, and then it's available for ready consumption. So just like you treat the fresh juice products market, that's the focus that we give to it. But now with the other range of products that we have, which have a better shelf life, which can be on the shelf for several months and years without having any issues, we are really going hard on standardization to make sure that we give the FDA seal, we get the GFC seal, we have our tax stamps as well to make sure that when we are ready to begin exports on a larger scale, we don't have any hitches. And I think to sort of bear with the existing entrepreneurs who don't have the GSC and the FDA yet, I think I'll use this platform as an appeal to the government and all the government organizations to make it a bit easier for entrepreneurs to access this standardization.
Because it should be simple.
It's quite strenuous. And sometimes the capital investment that is being required to have your product standardized is almost talking about the initial capital of an entrepreneur. So I understand why most of these entrepreneurs don't have their product standardized yet. They want to do it. They know that is what they have to do. They want to be done, but they don't have the resources.
Welcome back, viewers, to Agromedia. We've been interacting with Mr. Elorm Awadzi, owner of Kubehene. We are in the factory right now where all the action happens. Elorm, thank you for bringing us to your mini factory.
Sure, you're welcome.
You started very well. I'm so impressed. We are here now. Can you take us through what normally happens in here?
Okay. All right. So once you get in here, before we continue, we need to abide by the standard operating procedures. So we just want to have
All right. So that's
yeah. So as soon as you come into the factory, you need to run through the factory standard operating procedures. So the first step is to wash hands at the entrance before we enter into the factory premises. Before we get in, we take off our shoes outside or sandals. You come in, you put on your rubber slippers like you and I have. And then the first process is to wear the factory attire. So nose mask, gloves, your head cap, and then the apron for the factory workers. Now the first step is the peeling and breaking of nuts. So in here we have 3 workstations. So here, workstation 1, this is where the peeling and the breaking of nuts is done. So we have a manager in charge of the breaking of the nuts here. Now when the nuts are broken, it is transferred into bowl A. Now from bowl A here, the contents of bowl A is now transferred into bowl B. Bowl B has the sieve and it is also the dispenser. So all the contents are sieved in here before it is transferred into the sterilized bottles for packaging. We have our bottles which are going to be sterilized in ironing water here in this bowl. Now once it's sterilized here, before it is bottled, it goes through another process of sterilization here as well in ironing water. After sterilization, then it comes to this workstation for bottling. So we have the production manager here who is in charge of this process. So bottling goes on through here before it is sealed firmly with another sterilized cap, and then it goes straight into the freezing compartment.
okay.
From this freezing compartment, there is a vehicle that couriers it straight to our industrial freezer, which is the depot of all our products. So that is where the main freezing is done and it is stored there until it's distributed to all the sales points.
Where do you get your coconuts from?
So we source our coconuts from a partner farm. So our partner farm is just a few meters away from the factory. So all the fresh coconuts are sourced from there. It's brought into our yard here, washed and cleaned, and then it comes into the factory to go through the production process.
So it's a win-win relationship.
It's a win-win relationship.
It's not just you taking everything. Viewers, it's very important to also understand what is going on here in terms of the location of the factory and its nearness to the source of raw material. For your parties, for all your events, for your household food consumption, if you want a healthy alternative to all the soda, fizzy drinks that may not be healthy enough for you, Kubehene is actually something, a brand that you can hold on to. And if you want more of Kubehene's products and services, you can look on your screen and call any of the numbers that you see on your screen, as well as also follow the social media handle displayed on your screen. My name is Fidel Tete, the agrarian. You can call me. All this we do is for the love of agriculture. We want to see you at the top.